Hey you guys, so today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on McCalls 7730. I'm only doing a tutorial on the sleeve for view A. The reason why I'm doing this tutorial is because I had quite a bit of an issue following the directions that were given to me from the pattern. I'm the type of person, I have to do things my way, the way that it's easier for me to understand so that I can get it the way that I wanted to get it. So I don't know if you're like me, but if you are, go ahead and follow along with these instructions and you'll get sleeve in just the way you want it. So the instruction says that we must first stitch the seam of the main sleeve right here, and then it tells us to follow the instructions on doing the flounce for the sleeve. Well, what I did was the opposite. First, I did the flounce. I turned in the seam and on the end of the sleeve, flounce lining, and I stitched that together, leaving the ends open so I can flip it inside out. And then I followed the rest of the directions that were given to me. The thing that I did differently is that I did not stitch this seam all the way down, because once you do that, it's really difficult, you guys, to get the sewing machine, even when I took off the main part of the sewing machine so that I can just use the sleeve portion, it was still too wide for the sleeves, at least for me, because I cut a size 12 for mine. So the sleeves are a little bit smaller and hard to get over this anyway with the flounce on there. What I did was I pressed the seam to the 5/8 of an inch on each side of the sleeve so that it would press under, see? And then what I did next was I created my markings for the placement of the flounce on the sleeve. You see the pink, off pink, white marking here? I did the same thing to my flounce as well. What I'm doing next is I'm lining up the closing seam from the flounce onto the folded sleeve of this opening of the sleeve, and I'm lining up the markings together. I'm going to do that all the way around, you guys, and then I'm going to pin it in place. So now, as you can see, I've finished pinning, so now I've taken the sleeve to my sewing machine so that I can go ahead and finish stitching. But remember, you guys, while you're stitching, that area of the sleeve that has not been stitched down yet, the main sleeve, that opening, do not stitch over that. We're going to be about 1/4 of an inch away from that, because remember, we still have to stitch up that main sleeve before we finish. So just stitch around all the way until you almost get to that opening, about 1/2 inch away from that opening. So as you can see, you guys, I've stitched all the way around, and then I left about this much undone of the stitching so that I can go ahead and finish off the sleeve first before I complete everything. So next, I'm going to take the main sleeve and I'm going to go ahead and stitch this all the way down now that I've gotten the peplum where I want it. So everything is now stitched up perfectly and quickly because of that step that I took. Instead of first seaming the main sleeve all the way down, I just decided to leave it open and press it at the 5/8 inch of seam mark, and then I placed the seam on top of that to make sure I kept in place. So everything is stitched up the way it needs to be. Now all I'm going to do, this area that's not stitched in, I'm just going to put on my sewing machine and just finish stitching that up. And there you have it, you guys, all stitched up and ready to go. Now all I need to do is place my sleeve onto my jacket and then do some hemming, and my look will be complete. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope that the information I gave you today will help make this process a little bit easier. Thank you again. You guys have a blessed and thankful day. Bye.